visit any of our 4 Brookings locations. Ivy Food Store is proud to be a friend of Brookings High School and to support Bobcat athletic teams, fine arts programs, and student organizations. Fights Electric believes that educational activities are an investment in our youth and is pleased to be a community partner of Brookings High School. And folks, please consider joining the Bobcat Backers. The Backers help provide financial support to the Bobcat athletic teams. They provide scholarships, help with state tournaments, supply future Bobcat athletes, and assist in providing funds to help with facility upgrades and other athletic needs. You can visit the Bobcat Backers website at www.thebobcatbackers.com for more information on becoming a member.
So we'll switch it over now to the hosts in the Bobcats. One of the interesting things that we were talking about over the break here was the defensive scheme for the Cobblers, and it's not a 2-3 zone. We're looking at a 3-2 zone. So you've got the 3 girls up front, 2 just kind of hanging out down low, and you wonder if that's going to be those taller players like Josie Hill at 6'2" and Dina Smith 6'1", Mari Richard 6'1". So it'll be interesting to see. So if they do have that 3-2 zone, kind of a funky look to it, what do the Bobcats need to do against that? Obviously, perimeter game is important if you can establish that, but they're going to have more answers than just jump shots, Alec.
Yeah, again, when I was talking to Coach Clayton before, I think I looked at it for 5 minutes straight. Like you said, a 3-2 zone is something you really don't ever see. So again, I was contemplating if I had wrote it wrong, which again is a very likely possibility. But again, if you come out with a 3-2 zone, it just limits the 3-point shooting. You know, at this age, when you go 2-2 zone, if you can have a post flash to the elbow and kick it out, the 3-point shot is there. So now if you go 3-2 zone and you have your 3 guards up top, you just don't see nearly as many 3-point shot attempts. So yeah, if you have girls over 6 feet like Rapid City does, maybe this does suit their game better, so you can have them kind of just hang out down in the paint. And now obviously rebounding comes into play. If you're not boxing out and not getting rebounds, second chance points is going to hurt you. But if you're in a 3-2 zone, you're just not going to see as many shots being attempted from down the arc, and that's something Brookings kind of lives by with Logan, Mandy, Austin, Burns, all those girls like to shoot the threes, and they're just not going to see a lot of them if Rapid comes out into this 3-2 zone.
It kind of leads me to the next point. I think the Bobcats can stay confident and be willing to drive into the lane, because with that 3-2, if you're able to get past that first round of defense, it's open down low. But that also, you can look at it the other way, is that defensive tactic for the Cowboys to draw those Bobcats into the taller players. But I think if they can get and shots goes in, there's a very real opportunity that they can get in and bounce back and get back up.
Yeah, I think too, a 3-2 zone, if Brookings isn't shooting well, it does suit them better, because like you said, if they can get it down there to Shasta, when there's only 1 girl down there instead of maybe 3 like she's used to seeing in the 3-2 zone, you could see a lot more ground from her to me. And again, if she starts to go off and they're really just breaking apart that 3-2 zone, Rapid City will, I'm assuming, quick to get out of it and go back moving in.
I wonder if they'll bring Shasta to the free throw line as well, because that's going to draw one of those lower defenders up constantly, and then you can have a backdoor cut looking the other way. I think that could really work for the Bobcats tonight. What that setup is, but we'll have to see. So again, we're talking about the defense. Bobcats, what do they need to do defensively to finish up here as we approach the 1-minute mark before this tip-off action?
Again, I think they just have to work hard and get it sound as easy as can be, but I think they can offer
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's non-conference basketball doubleheader between the Rapid City Central Cobblers and your hosts, the Brookings Bobcats. This contest is being conducted by the administration of Brookings High School under the guidance and regulation of the South Dakota High School Activities Association for the enjoyment and educational benefit of high school students. We encourage you to support your team in a positive manner while pursuing victory with honor. Sportsmanship is all about respecting the game, each other, and yourselves. Please enjoy the game and support these student athletes by modeling good sportsmanship. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you now please stand, remove your hats, and show proper respect to the flag for the playing of our national anthem. Now, please say hello to the Brookings Bobcat cheerleaders. Kira Stoll, Andrea James, Paige Johnson, Ruby Simonska, Alyssa Love, Lisa Patone, Eliana McKnight, and Mackenzie Steinauer. They are coached by Carly Copeland. Now let's meet the lineups for tonight's girls basketball matchup. First, the starters for the visiting Cobblers. At guard, number 3, Emery Rico. At guard, number 11, Aaliyah Jones. At forward, number 14, Josie Hill. At guard, number 33, Sadie Blade. And at center, number 42, Dennis Smith. The Cobblers are coached by Alan Bertrand and assisted by Jeremy Noyes, Jackie Jasinski, Jim Noyes, Mackenzie Grauberger, and Skylar Bertrand. And now, the starting lineup for the Bobcats. At guard, number 12, Ashton Ostrom. At forward, number 20, Landry Wilson. At forward, number 22, Claire Byrne. At forward, number 40, Logan Smith. And at forward, number 52, Ainsley Shelton. The Bobcats are coached by Mitch McClagan and assisted by Ross Peterson, Andy Schmidt, and Zach Thomas. The officials for tonight's game are Rusty Keith, Dan Forstrom, and Thomas Cobbler. Let's play basketball.
Feels like 14 in Brookings, South Dakota. A little bit of snow today, Alec. Good to see here in Brookings. Always nice to have a little white on the ground. But again, tonight's temperature brought to you by Active Heating, serving you in Watertown and Brookings. We heard the starters there for both sides. Brookings in their white uniforms, the Cobblers in their red away uniforms, and the tip goes to Brookings. And again, here's that zone defense we talked about earlier, and it's going to draw a foul right away. We'll see who that one was on. It was on number 3. That's Amare Rento, the 5'8" senior. So 9 seconds in, Alec, already a foul on these Rapid City Central Cobblers.
And again, that's huge for the Bobcats. Something we didn't see a whole lot of the last time we called the girls game was them getting to the free throw line. So I know we're 9 seconds in, but that's huge. If you can already draw a foul as Logan Schmidt sets up for 3 in the corner, just leaves it short. That's a good offensive possession there for the Bobcats. Something that they're going to want to continue to get here the rest of the night.
The rebound was pulled down by Sadie Glade. The 5'8" senior was going right side. Got an offensive foul again here. So about 14 seconds later, got another foul, and we'll see. I think it was offensive on a screen. We'll see who he's got on this one. It's going to be on, looks like number 42, Dina Smith, the 6'1" senior. So again, 2 quick fouls here, 2 team fouls. That was her first. And then almost a gift there for the Bobcats. It was Logan Smith who dove out of bounds to save it, got it back to Burns. Burns getting the press on here, got to get it away from him, and it's stolen from her, going into the lane, left-handed layup. What a finish that was. It was Aaliyah Jones there who lays that one in up against Burns.
And again, here is that 1-2-2 press, something that the Bobcats are going to have to slow down like they did right there. Excellent job. Only took up 8 seconds to get across, and now you still have 27 seconds to get a good shot.
Down to 7 minutes here in the first quarter, 2-0 lead for the Cobblers. They go back top of the key to Burns, then they go corner to Smith. They get it down to Shelsta. Shelsta looking to use the left hand, can't get it to fall, gets her own rebound, goes up again with the left hand, can't get it to fall, and then is pulled down by number 14, Josie Hill of the Cobblers. Setting up the offense, Rento, the 5'8" senior, guarded by Logan Smith, the freshman. They go left-hand side over to Jones. Jones goes corner to Hill. Hill drives middle, jump shot from about 7 feet, nothing but net, knocks it down, 4-0 lead, Cobblers. Continuing that zone press that we talked about in the pregame show, 6:25 remaining, 4-0 lead for Rapid City Central. Skip pass ahead to Landry Wilson, gonna jump stop, tried to get a jump shot, but good defense there, forces a turnover, ends up in the hands of Jones. Jones drives again, finished last time with the left, couldn't get it there, and then an offensive rebound goes to Rinto, couldn't get it to fall, then Hill has an offensive opportunity, can't get it to fall, rebound goes to Shelsta.
And again, that's tough for the Bobcats. They get the defensive rebound, and then it's one thing, do you want to push it so you don't let Rapid get into that 1-2-2 zone? But at the same time, we've seen the Bobcats, when they try and push it, it gets a little sloppy. Another good shot there by Shelster with the left hand, just not able to connect. I think if she can see one of those fall and boost her confidence, more will come.
And it was a 2-3 zone that we've seen on defense, so not the 3-2 that we had mentioned earlier. So we'll see if that was a mistake on their end or if it was just something that they're going to switch around. Missed shot there, ends up in the hands of Shelsta, and it's Wilson trying to push to the other side, and it was almost Ostreim who touched it, and they're going to say it was tipped by the Cobblers and Sadie Glade, the 5'8" senior, so going to be an inbounds from the sideline, Alec.
Yeah, and as we've seen from the Brookings so far in the early minute and a half, good offensive possessions. You know, we've seen an open 3 from Logan in the corner, a couple good shots from Shelsta down low. Here it is, Shelsta coming up to that high post, something we talked about before. I think that'll open up a few more looks. Nice cut there by Wilson, who goes up strong, but it was blocked by Dina Smith, that 6'1" senior. Again, just kind of waiting down low in the paint for somebody to come in and try and score on her.
Same story though when the Bobcats look to push and are impatient. They can't get anything going as Rento lays it in with that left hand. So now a 6-0 run to start this game in the first 2 minutes. Bobcats have had good possessions, but when they force those passes, try and break the press a little sooner than they need to, it causes problems. Smith goes right side to Ostreim. She's guarded by Rento. Back to the top of the key to Burns, and it's Wilson at the free throw line. Jumps and catches it. Goes back to Ostreim. Thought about a 3, didn't take it. They get it down low to Shelsta. She's got Smith on her back. She goes up, it rattles in and out. So Shelsta, about 3 or 4 opportunities here. Alec can't get it to fall, and the Bobcats are still scoreless in the first 3.5 minutes so far.
And they're getting great looks, and like they said, the passes that they're getting down low to Shelsta are great passes, something that we've seen sometimes this year get stolen. So again, if they can keep getting those passes to Shelsta, she's done an excellent job. The shots just aren't falling, but they are good looks.
Baseline jumper from Hill, no good. Rebound went to Logan Smith of the Bobcats. 4:10 remaining in this first quarter of the doubleheader. Boys coming up later on tonight. Landry Wilson right side again, still looking at his own defense from the Cobblers. They get it to Shelsta. Goes to Landry Wilson, drives in a tough take, can't get it to fall. Rebound goes to Shelsta. She goes up strong and finally gets one to fall. We've been waiting for that the last couple minutes, and Shelsta connects on that one to get the Bobcats the first 2 points of the evening.
And again, nice aggressive take from Wilson too. It seems as though Brookings has been able to get around this zone, and they're relying, on their paint shots tonight. So yeah, that was a big shot for Shelsta to finally see one fall to get back into it. But again, a quick basket there from Josie Hill to give them a 6-point lead, 8-2 with 3:31 left to go in the first.
They get it up to Landry Wilson. Wilson, right wing, and that's going to be a timeout from Coach McCleggan, full timeout, so we'll take a 1-minute break ourselves. It's an 8-2 advantage for the Cobblers. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball on K-Country 102.3, back in a minute. First game of this doubleheader, girls playing against Rapid City Central Cobblers, an 8-2 advantage for the Cobblers right now in the first 4.5 minutes, Alec. What do the Bobcats need to do to make a change here? Again, they've had some good opportunities with Shelsta down low, but what else can they do to get back in this game?
Yeah, they just got to make their shots. Unfortunately, their travel, I believe it was Paige Mulkey checked into the game, 5'11" senior. But no, like you said, they're getting great looks down low. We've seen Shelsta miss a couple layups. Landry missed a layup. So again, they just got to make their shots. Defensively, they're working hard. 8-2 game, you make some of those layups, you're right back in it. So I think right now Brookings is doing an excellent job of slowing down on the offensive side for themselves. Now they just got to make those close ones.
Cobblers getting their first look at one of the Cooney sisters. Wichapi, the 5'9" junior, checks in for them. They go to Wichapi, drives to the top of the lane, then he ends up in the hands of Hill. Hill right now with 4 points, but gets called for a travel on that one. So again, we're approaching the 3-minute mark here. Still a 6-point lead for the Cobblers. Bobcats can't afford to keep turning the ball over themselves, and we are going to get the other Cooney sister in Nevaeh, the 5'5" senior, coming in. Looks like she is going to check in for Dina Smith. A little bit of miscommunication there. They're going to send Josie Hill back with this 1-2-1 zone press that they like to run.
Yeah, and you wonder how much, Dina Smith coming out will play into the effect of when Shelsta's out. They might not need the height like they do right now with Shelsta out, so you need Dina Smith out. So I wonder if she's one when Shelsta comes in, Smith comes in, and so forth to kind of match with each other with that height.
It was Nevaeh Cooney with the shot there off the mark. Rebound goes to the Bobcats. So Bobcats get a good stop on defense, back to that 2-3 zone that they've been running so far in this first quarter. They go left side, Landry Wilson, catch and shoot three-pointer just off the mark. Rebound goes to Cooney of the Cobblers. So again, not a bad possession there from the Bobcats, but still not getting the ball to go into the basket so far. They get it down to Hill. She's guarded by Mulkey. Mulkey going to have to be valuable tonight on defense. She's got the size. She's going to have to help with Shelsta coming in and out. But again, it was a better move there from Josie Hill with the turnaround jumper. Now a 10-2 lead with 2 minutes in this first quarter. Breaking the press, they get it to Ostrom. Ostrom going to drive up against Hill. Got blocked on the way up. It was tried to be saved by, I think it was Sadie Glade, the 5'8" senior. And then checking in for the Bobcats, Bailey Waterman, going to give Ostrom a break.
And here now, here's what we've talked about. The role players have to step up. Burns, Waterman, and Mulkey are in. You've still got Logan and Landry in, but still, you can't rely on just those two as they go down low, up and in. Excellent move there by 32, the 5'11" senior Paige Mulkey to cut the back into the 6-point deficit, 4-10. Rapid City leads.
Again, that's what the Bobcats need from her. You can't always rely on Shelsta. You need her to be confident, and good defense on Hill, but Hill gets a spin move to the left. What a move that was. Again, that's not a move you always see at the girls level in high school, and she's fouled on the way up. There was 2 Bobcats in the vicinity, and they're going to call that one on. Who was that one on? It was on number 20. It's Landry Wilson. First team foul. Again, the Cobblers doing a good job, had 2 quick fouls within about the first 30 seconds of the game, but they have recovered since then, as the first one was no good from Josie Hill.
And likewise, too, Bobcats doing a good job of staying out of foul trouble. Landry Wilson, that's only her first. It's only the team's first, so anytime you can keep your girls out of foul trouble and keep Rapid City out of the bonus, it is huge for the Bobcats, so that's something they will have to continue to do. But then again, there's that, full court press kind of got to Brookings, and the turnover leading the other way. No call there, I believe, so going to be stolen. Brookings has possession, but it's going to go just a circus down low right now of what's going on.
Hill going to try and do a spin move, kicks it out wide, a deep three-pointer from Sadie Glade. No good on that one. Rebound goes to Logan Smith, who jumped down, fell down, and got the ball into Waterman's hands. So we approach the 1-minute mark here. It's a 10-4 advantage for the Cobblers. Baseball pass to Landry Wilson. She drives baseline, slips on the way there. Don't know if there's a little moisture on the ground. She appears to be okay. She's going to scuff it out with her foot. We've got a couple subs coming in. Going to be Dina Smith for the Cobblers and Ainsley Shelsta for the Bobcats. And you wonder if Coach Bertram is going to match Shelsta with Dina Smith, because Shelsta went to the table shortly after. It was Smith coming in right after her, Alec.
You would have to assume so. Again, like we saw earlier on in the first quarter when Ainsley had those missed layups but got her own rebound. I think it's going to have to be Dina's going to have to come in when Ainsley does, and she's just going to have to work extra hard down low anytime Shelsta does have the ball.
Good help defense there. It was Paige Malke who cut off. Who was cutting to the lane there was number 20. Going to be Wichapi Cooney, the 5'9 junior, is going to go to the line for 2. So a good recovery there, but just a little late on that one, gets called for the foul. 2 free throws upcoming for Wichapi Cooney of the Cobblers. First one on the way, just off the mark, no good. Going to have subs coming in for the Cobblers. It'll be Mari Richards and Aaliyah Jones, the former starter, back into the game. So 41.5 left in this first quarter, Alec. What are your thoughts on the Bobcats as Wichapi goes up for the second free throw?
It seems like they've been doing a better job handling the press. We saw a couple early turnovers, so I think they've continued to slow it down a little bit. That's been helping. And like I said, it just comes back to missing those open shots. You're only down 7 with 34 seconds to go. So worst case, you're going to get out of this quarter down 7 or 8, which isn't the end of the world with how poor the shooting was in the first quarter.
Waterman goes for a 3, was blocked on the way. A late whistle there. So Waterman's going to have 3 free throws coming up the old-fashioned way. And one of the things I just noticed on that offensive possession, we talked about Shelsta flashing high. They actually had a great slip opportunity with Paige Malke. So look to see that going on later on in the game. There might be some opportunities there, Alec.
And that's huge with the zone too, because you get accustomed as defense. You just kind of have your one spot in a zone. You don't have to guard a certain somebody. So you see a lot in zones. Just the defenders getting a little lazy if the ball's on the other side of the floor. So you said it best. Excellent opportunity. Backdoor slip cut like that to get some good open layups.
Waterman connected on the first, connects on the second for her first 2 points of the evening. And again, it was a 3-point shot, so she's got one more upcoming. Foul was on Aaliyah Jones. That was her first team foul, third. So 3 and 2 fouls respectively on both sides. Third one on the way, no good. Tipped for the ball there, and it comes into the hands of Mari Richards. So 2 for 3 from the line from Waterman. And we've got the shot clock off, 15 left on the game clock as the Cobblers look to get one last shot in this first quarter. Driving into the lane, it was Amare Rento who gets it with the left hand, lays it in. She's got 4 points in this first quarter, and now a turnover on the other end. It was Logan Smith who had tried to get it in, lost balance, ended up into the hands of Aaliyah Jones who lays it in. So 4 points in the last 3 or 4 seconds there, just a killer for these Bobcats as we finish the first quarter with a 15-6 lead for the Cobblers. We're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball, Kid Country 102, back in 30 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. One quarter underway here in Bob Josted Gym. Again, this first session of this doubleheader this evening. Bobcat girls taking on the Cobblers, boys to follow, and it was a 15-6 advantage for that first quarter, Alec. And again, we talked about just before the quarter ended, a quick turnover. They got that lay-in. It was an aggressive take, as you had said, from Amare Rinto, who laid it in with about 6-7 seconds left, and then miscommunication on the inbounds. They get another left-handed layup from Aaliyah Jones, and it's 4 points in 5 seconds to finish off that quarter, Alec.
And we just said that too, after Waterman got fouled on the 3, connected on 2 of the 3, we said, hey, if you go into this at the end of the first quarter only down 5, with how poorly you shot the ball, that's exactly, I think, where Brookings would have been fine being, but then you have a turnover, and then they scored, and that 4-point lead instantly turns, 5-point deficit instantly turns into a 9-point deficit. So Brookings is going to have to come out this quarter and work a little harder to cut back into the Rapid City lead.
Had a couple great screens there. It was Aaliyah Jones who wanted the 3-point shot, and it was in and out, and then they had a scuffle for the ball. Josie Hill going to get called on that one. She was going after the ball with, I think it was Paige Malkey. So now 4 team fouls here. Another quick foul in the second quarter, and the Bobcats hopefully can take advantage of that and get to the bonus here. Shelston had it at half quarter. It was knocked out of her hands, but a little bit of fortune there. It was Sadie Glade who came up with it on the Bobcats side, ended up on her own side, and got called for the over and back.
And again, as soon as Shelston caught that pass, the thing she did is she brought it a little low. When you're 6'5", you catch that thing and you keep it high.
You put it at 7 feet.
Exactly. Nobody's going to reach that. If they do, it's going to be a foul. So I think Shelston will learn, as she just did right there, caught the pass at the elbow, kept it high, kicked it out to a wide open Burns, who missed the 3. But something we said in the first quarter, those are the looks that Brookings wants. They just have to connect on one of them to kind of build that momentum.
They need to pick up on some of the boys' 3-point shooting from that Aberdeen game. It was unbelievable to watch in person. Taking it up the court for the Cobblers, Rinto goes left side over to Jones. Jones, a 5'8" sophomore, guarded by Waterman. Gets it back over to Sadie Glade. They go down low to Hill. Hill spin move to the middle. Great defense there. It was Malky and Shelston tag team in that one to force the tough shot, and it ends up into the hands of the Bobcats. So we're a minute into the second quarter, still a 15-6 lead for the Cobblers against the Brookings Bobcats, and a tough skip pass there. And we'll see, it is going to be a foul on someone, and it's going to be on Waterman. It was Waterman and Glade, the 5'8" senior from the Cobblers, who went up for the pass, and it was Glade who ended up on the ground, and they get the foul on Waterman. Now team foul number 3.
And again, anytime a team is in a zone, that is just a very difficult pass. Like we've talked about, the 2 guards on the opposite side of the ball sink a little bit, and we saw there as she tried to make the cross-court pass, it went right to Rapid City. So again, not the passes Brookings can really afford to make. If they're in this zone, it's got to be one pass to your left, to your right, or you got to hit Shelston coming up on that high post.
They go right wing over to Rinto. Rinto gets back to the top of the key. They go right side over to Glade. Glade back top of the key over to Jones. Jones tries to go corner. They do get it to the corner. It's Sadie Glade with a 3-point shot, but a rebound comes down to the 6'1" senior and Dina Smith. So continuing their offense, a fresh 35 seconds here for the Cobblers. They go left wing to Josie Hill. It's going to be defensive duties from Malky, and then it was a pass out wide, and it was going to be tipped last by the Bobcats. And Landry Wilson and Logan Smith had checked in before. We just didn't get that on. Inbounds from the left sideline here. It's Aaliyah Jones.
Again, Brookings staying in that zone. I believe it seems as though they almost switch it every possession. Hard to see what they're in right now. They've now gone back, to man-to-man. So again, I think they're just trying to keep Rapid City on their toes, because if a team gets comfortable knowing they're in the zone all game, it just works better. So again, I think Coach McClagan and staff is really just switching, whether it's every possession, every other possession, but it's even throwing me for a loop. I'm not sure what defense they're in every time Rapid City has the ball.
And it was Aaliyah Jones who took a quick step there, got called for the travel. So fortunate turn of events for the Bobcats here with just under 6 in the second quarter. Still that 15-6 lead for Rapid City Central. Continuing his own defense, that's been the trend for the Cobblers tonight. They haven't switched up too much. They're going to stick with that zone as much as they can, and it's worked so far. Force it down to Shelston, and then it ends up in the hands of Sadie Glade. So again, forcing that tough pass, I understand you want to get it to Shelston, but when the Bobcats try and force it, it just does not work, Alec.
Exactly. The only time we've seen it really work is when you have, an opposite guard or the other post besides Shelston cut to that elbow like we've talked about, and then you can throw it down low to her. But when we've seen them try and force it from 15, 20 feet away, it's been stolen every time.
It was a floater from Rinto, didn't get it to fall. It came into the hands of Josie Hill, and she's tied up in a jump ball as Wichapi Cooney checks back in for the Cobblers. Same look for the Bobcats. They've got 4 out of their 5 starters in. You're excluding someone like Paige Malky. Again, they're looking for maybe a little more size on this possession. We talked about Shelsta flashing high and maybe getting a slip from that other post player in Malky. And then it was a pass straight up in the air from Ostrheim, and it is stolen as Wichapi Cooney goes the other way, drives into Landry Wilson. Ball goes flying into the stands, and Landry was still sliding in, so it's a blocking foul on her. Should be 2 shots coming up for the Cooney sister.
I mean, we just said it. Anytime you're in a zone, that cross-court pass, it's just not going to work. As Ostrheim tried to make a cross-court pass, you're just throwing it straight into the hands of Rapid City. Again, you've got to go up top first to your point guard, and then they can make that pass across. But if you try to go all the way across, you're just asking to turn the ball over.
We got a new sub for the Bobcats. It's going to be Sophia Hamrick, so the 5'8 junior getting her first minutes tonight. Wichapi Cooney's first free throw off the mark. So right now, 1 of 5 are the Cobblers. And now we've got a violation. I think it was on Dina Smith. She was standing between Hamrick and Malky, and before Wichapi could get the ball up, I think we got a violation there.
Yeah, I'm confused at what the call was.
I think he blew the whistle. It looked like he said violation pointed, so I don't know if she stepped into the lane when Wichapi Cooney had the ball. That must have been the ruling there, Alec.
Again, Brookings, fortunate. They will take it. You know, have not scored a bucket this quarter, have gotten some looks, but the fact that they're only down 9 with some of the turnovers and missed shots they've had, they've got to be pleased with it. And I know they're down 9, but again, this could be anywhere from a 15, 20-point game at the moment.
They go right side again, zone defense from the Cobblers. Good ball screen there for Logan Smith. Running floater, gets it to fall. Great shot there that shows the touch that she has, and she gets her first 2 points tonight. And that's now 4 Bobcats with scoring so far this evening. 4:30 remaining in the second quarter. Now a 15-8 lead. They try to do a pick and roll for Smith, and it's stolen by Hamrick. So a little bit of momentum here. Hamrick looks to push the other side. A step-up 3 from Smith just off the long iron there, but it ends up in the hands of Shelsta. And then it was a tough pass to Landry Wilson. And then what hustle was there? It was diving out of bounds. I believe it was Amare Rento. Threw it off the knees of Malky, and now it goes back to the Cobblers. It looks like
a little confusion there. I think he had said Brookings ball to start, but it instantly changed. Like you, unbelievable hustle by Amare Rinto. Thought it was just going to go out of bounds as it was. Full out dive, saved it, and it went off Brookings, giving Rapid City the ball, and they're going to call themselves, I believe, a 30-second timeout.
Yep, so we'll stay here for it. So again, Bobcats, they get that basket that they need, Alec, but then of course they come back with another turnover, and that's just where it causes issues for them. Again, they get that little bit of momentum, have a nice defensive stop, cause the turnover on the Cobbler offensive side, but then you get an errant pass there, and then it was a great hustle play. You can't take that away from Rinto, who went diving out of bounds. It looked like it was just going to be Bobcat basketball, and of course the Bobcat players were not going to go after it, and she dove and threw it off the knee of Malky.
Exactly, and I think Brookings, we know they're going to have turnovers. Both teams are going to have turnovers. I think Brookings' best bet is if they can limit their turnovers after they instantly get a bucket. If they can get 2 or 3 great possessions with a few buckets and then possibly have a turnover, I think they're just going to, build maybe that momentum a little bit. But when you're scoring turnover and it's just alternating, you just can't really get into a good groove on the offensive end.
No questions here. It is a 2-3 zone for the Bobcats. They go top of the key to Cooney. 5'9 junior goes to the right wing to the other Cooney in Nevaeh. Back to Wichapi, a 3-pointer, nothing but net. Wichapi gets her 4 points tonight so far, and that extends the lead to double digits, 18-8 with 3:45 left in this second quarter. And it was Ella Bisgard who also checked in for Brookings as well. Up top of the key, over to Hamrick. Hamrick goes corner to Smith. She's guarded by Hill. 3-point shot opportunity, top of the key, knocks it down. It was Claire Burns. So good to see Claire Burns get the confidence on the outside. We talked so much last year about her not taking some of those shots, and confidence there knocks it down, Alex.
An excellent ball movement by the Bobcats. We saw 3 quick passes. Rapid City wasn't able to get back to where they wanted to be in that zone, and that's what you do to beat a zone. Quick passes. Brookings did that, led to a wide open 3 for Burns, and she connected, and it's going to be a travel there on Rapid City. So again, Brookings get the ball back. And this is what we talked about. You just hit a big 3 by Burns. You have to have another good possession. Can't have a turnover because now momentum is a little bit on your side as you're trying to cut into the 7-point deficit.
Sadie Glade checks in for Dina Smith. So again, Smith out when Shelsta's out. That seems to be what's going on with the defensive scenario for these Cobblers. Bobcats have the ball. Again, a little bit of a zone press here. Gets it into Logan Smith in the backcourt. Plenty of time here. This is where they get in trouble. It's just team passing, but again, you force a tough pass like that, and it's stolen by Glade. Glade drives in. No call. Ran over Logan Smith, who rushed it out. She was on her back. They get it up to Hamrick. Hamrick, who's trailed by Hill, goes left hand, and that's got to be an offensive foul. You can see she extended that right arm and pushed Hill to the ground. So good hustle there by it was Josie Hill to get back on defense.
Yeah, and I think, too, something we haven't seen a whole lot of is that really fast tempo pace. Like right there, we saw Hamrick get the steal and go the other way. I think that would have been a better decision to just kind of pull back a little bit. Like I said, you're only down 7. Pull out. Give yourself a chance to get a better look, but like we said, another turnover there after the Burns 3, so it's just a back and forth affair for the Bobcats between scoring and turning over, just back and forth.
Rinto in for Rapid City Central. First minutes tonight for Jaden Devine of Brookings, only a sophomore, so getting a nice lineup in so far for Brookings, getting a lot of different younger players to come in. It was a bounce pass along the baseline, tipped last by Brookings, so it'll be Rapid City Central ball with 17 on the shot clock, 2:36 left in the second quarter. It's an 18-11 lead. They go corner over to Glade. Glade up top of the key to Rinto. Rinto goes right side over to Nevaeh Cooney. Down low to Hill. Hill goes up against Ella Bisgard, and then she's called for an offensive foul. A similar scenario with Hamrick extending the forearm. It was Hill doing just that on the other side.
Yeah, and again, you could see she wanted the ball. She knew she had the height advantage on Bisgard, but the second you drop your shoulder like that and throw it into the defender, the ref's going to call it every time. Now, granted, if it was a foul or not, but like I said, when you drop that shoulder that low and really throw it out, it's an easy call for the ref.
Wilson in for Bisgard, so Wilson trying to get some offensive time here, and it's just not what you want. It was Logan Smith who left her feet, but they get away with it. It was ended up getting tipped. It was in the hands of Hill, and then it came back to Hamrick. Logan Smith drives down the middle, goes baseline over to Jaden Devine. She's blocked at the net there. It was number 20, Wichapee Cooney, and then they look to push to the other side. They get it over to the left-hand side to Wichapee Cooney. Up top to the other Cooney. They go left wing over to Rinto. Rinto down low. What a pass that was. It goes into the hands of Hill, and she lays it in. Hill now with 8 points tonight, and it's a 20-11 lead for the Cobblers here, just under 2 minutes in this second quarter.
And again, that's just quick ball movement. We saw Brookings do it a couple possessions ago, which led to the wide-open Burns 3. So again, Rapid City just did it right there, and they're going to call the foul on Amare. Rinto came from behind trying to get the steal, grabbed a little too much arm, and I believe Brookings is now... No, not in the bonus. Sorry.
One foul away. That was
looked like Wilson went to the line like she was going to shoot. But yes, one more will put Brookings in the bonus. And only a minute 46 left. But still, if they can get to the line to chip in this lead, it'll be huge for them as Shelsta is going to check in for Hamrick.
Aaliyah Jones checks in for the Cobblers. And then, of course, Shelsta comes in. So none other than Dina Smith for the Cobblers as well. Logan to inbound. Logan Smith underneath their own basket. It'll be on the right baseline. 1:46 remaining scenario. 20-11 here in the second quarter. Looking to try and lob it into Shelsta. She just has to go over the top to Landry Wilson, who makes and secures the catch. Goes left wing over to Burns. Burns goes to the corner. Another running floater. We saw one from Logan Smith earlier. Knocks down a second one. So 4 points for her. Cuts that lead down to 7 with a minute 30 left in this first half. Good touch there from the freshman. They're trying to get it down low to Hill. It was good defense by Burns, who was on the front-hand side, and then what a finish that was. And that had to be, yes, it was Wichapee Cooney who lays it in around Shelsta there, and what a tough take that was against the 6'5 senior.
Really tough take. Unbelievable that she got it underneath. Shelsta was able to put it in. But again, if Brookings, can get a couple buckets here, only down 9. Burns a 3 from the left wing, nothing. Connecting there, air ball, so Rapid City's going to get the ball back with 57 seconds left to go before half.
9-point lead here. Hill on the left wing looking for a ball screen from Jones. Jumper just inside the 3-point line off the mark. Rebound goes to Landry Wilson. About a 14-second difference on the clocks here. It's 42 on the game clock, now 41.3, 27 on the shot clock, and the ball was tipped out of bounds by the Cobblers. Checking in for them is Mari Richards. Going to be the left sideline there. It'll be Landry Wilson to get it in. We'll see what kind of play if they want to try and get a last-second shot, but it looks like Logan Smith is going to slow it down, and maybe that's just what they need to get a good offense here before the half, Alex.
Yeah, I think so too. Just slow it down. There was a chance for a 2-for-1 there. Could have got a shot up. Nice take there by Logan Smith. She's going to get to the line for 2. So again, now when Rapid City gets the ball back, shot clock will be off, so they'll be able to have the last shot. But if Logan can connect on both of these, you're only down 7. Granted, if you can hold Rapid to not scoring before the half, and I think Coach McClagan and staff, like I've said, the way they've shot tonight would be fine being down 7 as Logan does connect on the first, and Sophia Hamrick is going to check back into the game for Landry Wilson with 30 seconds even left to go here before half.
Bobcats are on the bonus, so there's only 30 seconds. No shot clock will be on for the Cobblers, but you never know if you can get the ball back, get some free throws to come up here in the later stages of this first half. Logan Smith, second one on the way, rattles, sits on the rim and drops. So the Bobcats doing a good job from the line, 4 of 5 in this first half. It'd be nice to see if they can get there more in this second half. Again, we're down to 20 seconds here. Bobcats would like to get a stop on defense. Again, the lead only back to 7, so they've sniffed it out a little more. Alec, a 3-point corner shot, no good, but an offensive rebound goes into the hands of Richards. It was driving into the lane. It was Jones. Jones went into traffic there. And then the Bobcats couldn't secure the rebound, so goes back to the Cobblers with 8.3 here. And again, the Bobcats had a great opportunity just to grab that rebound, Alec, and they couldn't do it.
Exactly. That would have been huge, too. You would have still had 9 seconds. You could have gone the other way to get an open look, but still they're going to try and get a stop here, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Sophia Hamrick. It was Adriana Young that went, number
Wichapikuni, yes.
Again, we've seen her finish at the basket all night. So again, she tried there, drew the foul, so she will get to the line for 2. But again, looking, Brookings still has 5 seconds. If Cooney connects on both, that's plenty of time to be able to cross half court and get a good look before half.
Misses on the first one as Landry Wilson checks in for an offensive possession. Again, the Cobblers only 1 of 6 from the line right now. So again, we talked about some of those things earlier where this game could be completely different, and the Bobcats have to take advantage of this poor free throw shooting from the Cobblers. Second one on the way, does get that one to fall. So we've got 5 seconds, down to 3. Logan Smith takes it to the center court line, gives it to Hamrick. Hamrick tries to, thought about a half-court shot, passes it to Shelsta, does not get it off in time. So there's your final score from the first half. It's 23-15 in favor of the Rapid City Central Cobblers. We'll be back in 4 minutes with the halftime show. You're listening to K-Country 102.3.
Bobcat fans, please direct your attention at the east basket for our 3-shot contest. In a minute, Maya Gunvalson will have 35 seconds to make a layup, a free throw, and a 3-pointer. If Maya makes a layup, she receives a bottle of water from the concession stand. If she sinks a free throw, she earns a Bobcat t-shirt from the Monogram Club. And if she drains a 3-pointer, she receives a $10 Cubby's gift card, courtesy of Cubby's Sports Bar and Grill. Maya, are you ready? Go. There's a bottle of water. Bobcat fans, please direct your attention to center court, as we need your help with our Find the Prize game. Cole McEwen will be blindfolded, and with only the help and guidance from the Bobcat faithful, he will have 30 seconds to find the prize. Everyone assist Cole by shouting instructions like left, right, straight. Ready, set, go. Congratulations.
You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball on K-Country 102.3. Welcome to the halftime show here that we have in store for you. Again, we'll take a look at both sides, some of their scoring, some of their shooting, and take a look at the first half in general before we get going in the second half tonight. Again, leading the way in scoring for the Cobblers, it was Josie Hill with 8, following closely behind Wichapi Cooney with 7, and then you had a couple players, Jones and Rinto with 4, and that is it. Just 4 scorers right now for the Cobblers, Alec, and only 2 of 7 from the free throw line, 10 of 26 from the field, 38%, so not a great shooting night overall, only 1 of 6 on threes as well.
Yeah, and I think Brookings knew that too coming into the game. Rapid has their 5 go-to scorers that they look, and we've seen 4 of them tonight, and again, it's just their starters. So again, Brookings has been working hard, but Rapid's been working a little harder, getting some of those good looks. So curious to see what kind of defensive scheme if they come back out, Brookings in the second half, and just alternate between man and zone. But like you said, Rapid only 1 of 6 from beyond the arc, so you would assume the Brookings stays in that 2-3 zone until Rapid kind of shoots Brookings out of it, because they're only shooting 16% from beyond the arc.
15 total rebounds for them, tied with Brookings. So both teams doing a good job of taking advantage of those missed shots, getting a lot of defensive rebounds tonight. Offensively, only 5 for the Bobcats, 5. So dead even, 10 and 5 for both teams. Taking a look at the Bobcats side again, the number I circled first, Alec, 16 turnovers in the first half for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and really, I honestly didn't think it was that many. 16 is not what the Bobcats wanted at all in the first half. Again, going back to the first quarter, the press, yes, there was a lot of turnovers there. So really, if Brookings can cut back on that, the first number that popped out to me was that field goal percentage, 5 of 17, only 29% from the field. And we've said it all night, you're only down by 8 and you've missed 12 shots. If you can get 2 or 3 of those to fall, you're right back in this game. Granted, Rapid City is 2 of 7 from the free throw line, like you had said. So that's also been in the Bobcats' favor. But if they can just connect on some of those shots, I think if Wilson can see some to fall, if Shelsta can hit a couple more down low, Brookings has an excellent chance to really grab a lead early on to start the third quarter.
And the Bobcats did a great job from the charity stripe, 4 or 5 in the first half. Again, we hope to see some quick fouls on the Cobbler side like we did in that first quarter there. Again, they had 2 quick fouls within about the first 20 seconds. So a good job from them, but we hope they can get a few more opportunities here coming up in the next 16 minutes. Looking at scoring for the Bobcats, leading the way is I believe it should be Logan Smith with 6. You've got a few players with 2. Shelsta with 2 with the lone left-hand lay-in. Bailey Waterman with 2, and then it was Paige Malkey with 2, that tough take there. And then you've got I believe, yeah, that 3-point shot from Claire Burns as well. So again, you have 5 scorers for the Bobcats, but it's just not getting some of those bigger numbers.
Exactly, and you only have 15 points. So if you can have 5 girls contribute to your 15 points, I think that's huge. And now this is where the big 3 has to step up a little more, because they're getting the help that they need from Mulkey and Waterman, Hamrick, Bisgard, Burns. All of them are out there. They're doing the best they can, but the shots have to start falling for Brookings if they want to get back into this game.
And they're going to have a quicker start as well. Again, it was a 6-0 run to start the game for the Cobblers, and overall scoring in the first quarter, it was 15-6, the advantage to Rapid City Central. Again, the Bobcats made the adjustment, outscored the Cobblers by 1 in the second quarter, 9-8. But no leads for Brookings so far. The largest lead for Rapid City Central at 10. So again, the Bobcats, we've talked about it, boys side, girls side, so many times. They have to start off quick in this third quarter.
They do, and I think if Wilson and Shelsta can start off quick, that would be huge. Those two combined in the first half were 1 of 8. Landry was 0 for 3, and Shelsta had that offensive rebound put back. She was 1 of 5. So I think if those two can come off the third quarter and start hot, and Brookings can defensively keep throwing the zone at Rapid City, they're going to get back into this game. But it starts with a quick third quarter, and again, it comes back to limiting the turnovers. 16 is obviously way too many to have in the first half.
And you're going to have Landry Wilson step up. Again, she had 28 points in that Mitchell game earlier on in the season. She's proven she could score this year, and that's something we had asked the question of last year was, when are we going to get that breakout game from Landry Wilson to give her the confidence? And I'd say she's playing a little more confident this year, Alec. But again, scoreless in the first half. So many times we saw this last year, and that's just someone that has to get on the board for the Bobcats. Again, you've got your 5 scorers, but Landry Wilson needs to be in the mix.
Yep, and at half, Coach McClagan talking about if Rapid comes back out into that zone, the passing that they need to do, because we saw way too many turnovers, the cross-court passes. So Coach McClagan and staff talked about that, because the first few minutes of the game we saw excellent high cuts from the post players getting up to the elbow. You turn and look, and then you could either drive, you could kick out. So if Brookings can go back to that offensive game plan and continue to get the good looks and now see those shots fall, I like their chances here in the second half.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll have second half action for you. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball, Kid Country 102.3, back in 30.
It'll be Rapids to the ball to start the second half.
All right, possession arrow points to the Cobblers, so they'll start it off with a 23-15 lead here. It looks like back to starters on both sides, so Ostrom, Wilson, Burns, Smith, and Shelsta. Looking at the Cobblers, Rento, Jones, Hill, Glade, and Smith all in for both sides.
And again, a nice thing that Brookings has, nobody really in foul trouble. I guess Landry Wilson does have 2, so as long as she doesn't pick up a quick one here to start the third, that's nice that you don't have to worry about any of your big 3 or other starters having to come out due to foul trouble.
They get it down to Smith, down low, trying to get it to a cutting Hill. It was good defense from Burns there to knock it out of bounds. So down to 12 seconds here. A little more patience from the Cobblers so far in this first possession. I feel like they haven't gotten down to that 10-second mark much with that shot clock in the first half at all.
Exactly. It seems like it's either Jones that gets the ball and doesn't move, Hill some quick shots, or even Cooney's been able to get to the hole rather quickly. So yeah, nice job here by Brookings. Better defensive stand, and it's going to be a push on Shelsta. Had one hand on Josie Hill, so Cobblers will get to take the ball out of bounds, and unfortunately the shot clock's going to reset to 35.
What a break that was. Again, Shelsta's first foul, it looks like, team foul number 1 in the second half. Yeah, only about 4 seconds left on the shot clock there, and Hill was in trouble at the baseline. It was Jones trying to get it to someone. It was tipped away and stolen by the Bobcats. So Logan Smith takes it to the other side here. 7:15 to go in this starting quarter of the second half. They get it to a cutting Landry Wilson. Much better job there from the Bobcats, moving the ball around and using that movement without it. They get it to Shelsta, 2 steps, left hand, gets it to fall, and just what the Bobcats needed. Shelsta back on the board here, 4 points for her.
And that right there just comes back to passing. Wilson quick to Ostrom, Ostrom quick to Shelsta, open look for a layup because it's quick. Rapid City doesn't have time to get back to their defender. That's what Brookings will have to continue to do as Dina Smith misses. Brookings gets the rebound. You're down 6. If you can get another bucket here, the gym's going to get loud. Momentum will be in favor of the Bobcats.
They go back to Shelsta at the free throw line. We want to see that. Logan Smith, a three-point shot off the mark. It was Landry Wilson in the area. Couldn't come up with it. Gets into the hands of Sadie Glade. Glade gets it back, top of the key to Rinto. Rinto left side over to Jones. Looking to go back to the right side to Glade, the 5'8 senior, guarded by Landry Wilson. Looking to go baseline. She does get by her. Good move there. And again, it was Landry Wilson's a little slow with the feet, and it's going to be an and one for Sadie Glade, her first basket of the night.
And unfortunately, there no help side defense from the Bobcats. You had Burns on the opposite side and Ostreim both heavily up on their defenders. And like we saw, Wilson got beat to the layup. If somebody would have been there in time, I think it would have been able to at least contest the layup, but instead there was nobody there, so it was just an open layup, and she also converts on the three-point play, bringing the lead back up to 9 for the Cobblers.
So just like that, again, a chance to get it under 6, and like you mentioned, right back to almost double digits here. Bobcats need a response. They go up top of the key to Logan Smith. It was knocked away there, gets back into her hands, drives in the lane. It was going into Hill and Smith, two people you don't want to drive into, and it's the Cobblers pushing to the other side. Rinto looking to drive in on Burns. A lot of contact on the way there, no whistle. Burns ends up with a rebound. Good defense there from Burns. Burns doing a really good job tonight on all aspects of the game. She's had a perimeter three-point shot, a long, deep three from Landry Wilson, and she knocks it down. And again, before the break, we talked about she needs to be in the mix, and she makes herself known with that three-point shot.
That's big. It was a deep three. I think it's going to build her confidence, cuts the lead to 6 for Rapid City. If they can get a stop here and another bucket, something I just don't think we've seen tonight from the Bobcats, scoring on 2 straight possessions. We'll see if they can do it here.
They get it down low to Hill, goes to the corner. It's Glade, guarded by Landry Wilson. Got by her last time. They have a nice pick and roll there. It was Dina Smith who laid it, and she lays it in off the glass. First basket for her. Lead back to 8 for these Rapid City Central Cobblers. Looking at that zone press, as always, approaching the 5-minute mark here in this third quarter. They go skip pass to Landry Wilson. Just hit a 3 from a little bit closer. Can't get that one to fall. Rebound goes into the hands of Hill. But again, not a bad shot there. Hit the first one previously. It's a good look for Landry Wilson.
I mean, Brookings is going to be fine if she continues to get those open looks. You know, there's nobody in front of her. It's a wide open shot. Nice defense there by Wilson. Blocks the three-point attempt by Sadie Glade. So a good stop there by Brookings, making sure Rapid doesn't build to a 10-point lead. We'll see if they can get a bucket here to cut into the deficit. They go down low to Shelsta. The infamous left-handed hook. It goes in. Brookings now trails by 6, 22-28, with 4:25 left to go in the third.
Shelsta with 6 points as well. Top of the key, Rinto. Smith laying back on defense, gets it to Jones. Jones dribbles to the top, goes back to Rinto left wing. They're trying to get it down to Hill. Again, Claire Burns with the defensive duties on her. Goes to the middle, kicks it out to the corner. Jones didn't take the 3. They get it to Hill back in the left corner, down to 10 seconds. Good defense here, and it's going to be Shelsta with a push behind. It was Dina Smith cutting across the lane. Shelsta got caught behind her, and an easy call there for the referee.
And one thing Ainsley just doesn't have to do is put that forearm into Dina Smith. I know Smith is big. She's 6'1", she's a senior, but you have 4 inches, on her. So if Dina was going to go up for a layup, you know, you put your arm straight up, and that 6'5" height goes up to almost 7 feet. So again, just an unfortunate foul there by Shelsta. Just can't put that forearm into the back of Smith like she did. Nice rebound there by Hamrick, but then an instant turnover as she was trying to throw it out to Landry Wilson. It's going to be Sadie Glade for 3 off the mark. That's going to be off of Rapid City. I believe it was Aaliyah Jones going for it. So Brookings gets the ball back. We'll see now if they can slow it down on this press. This press to get a bucket.
Wichita P. Cooney checks in for the Cobblers again. 7 first half points for her. The lone 3-point shot for them in that first half. 28-22 lead, 3:45 here in the third quarter. Pass over the top to Landry Wilson. Again, that was one of those instances Landry Wilson maybe could have taken the 3 there, tried to get a pass. Now she's caught in the corner dead. They get it over to Malky, who's doubled down low, and it was Glade who was just a little too aggressive reaching in, and the foul is going to be called on her. First team foul for the Cobblers.
And again, nice break there by the Bobcats with Rapid getting the foul. The last thing you want to do in a zone is dribble or pass it to the corner, and that's what Brookings did. And you could see Rapid City was quick to swarm to the ball, but again, draws the foul. Brookings is able to have the inbound underneath the hoop, and they get it into Wilson at the top of the key.
Nevaeh Cooney checks in for the Cobbler, so both Cooney sisters in now for Rapid City Central. They go corner over to Hamrick. It looks like they're trying to double. She gets through it. Good take there, but gets into the hands of Josie Hill, who knocked it out of bounds. So again, not a bad take there from someone like Sophie Hamrick, the junior. But again, when you have Hill down low, it's a tough task to get anything past her.
It is, and the only thing that we've kind of really seen work tonight when you attack, if it's not Shelsta Logan with that floater, getting it up and above Hill, because what we saw right there, if you're going to attack it right at her, there's a good chance it's going to get blocked.
They go top of the key to Smith. Smith behind the back dribble, gets it over to Burns. Goes left side to Landry Wilson, drives baseline. Nice little running jumper off the glass there. It was like an underhand scoop from about 3 or 4 feet away and gets it to fall. So now 5 points for Landry Wilson so far, and it's a 4-point lead. A wide open 3-point shot. In and out, no good. Break there for the Bobcats. I don't know who that was. It was Cooney, I believe, in that left side, who took the 3-point shot, didn't get it. Now they get it down low to Malky. Malky ends up in their hands, and it's going to be a foul on her. Thought about maybe getting a jump ball there, but again, just a little too aggressive. No need to go for the ball. It was in the hands of Cooney, and just not the smartest foul there from Malky, as Ostrom is going to give her a rest.
And now we've seen Brookings do a great job of taking care of the basketball so far this quarter, offensively slowing it down, but now the fouls, they got to be smarter. 4 team fouls already here in the third with still 2:40 left to go. The last thing they want to do is get Rapid City into the bonus, as Brookings has slowly been chipping away at their lead.
They go right side over to Nevaeh Cooney, gets it down low to Hill, gets that offensive move into Burns. Good take there, and it was Mitch McClagan, the head coach of Brookings, who wanted that push off again. It's Hill who got called earlier in the first half already one time. He wanted another one there.
And Burns has been doing an excellent job of just going straight up with her defense. She knows Hill does have the moves, and we've seen him tonight, but we haven't seen Burns really ever try to block one of her shots. I think she just knows if any time Hill gets the ball, just put your hands straight up, and she's done that tonight, and I think it's working well for her because Hill's been shut down so far here in the second half.
There was another turnover there, an errant pass from the senior Ostrom. So back into the hands of the Cobblers, who look to set up the offense with 25 on the shot clock, 2:05 on the game clock. Up top of the key to Wichita Cooney. Thought about a 3, drives to the middle, going to be called for a travel. She got by Malky, but took that extra step. So again, the Bobcats need to take advantage of these turnovers, Alec. Again, you've got a couple in a row, a couple bad possessions for the Cobblers. Landry Wilson's going to check in. We'll see who she gets. It's going to be Burns. So again, looking for Landry Wilson to be a scorer right now. She's got a 3-point shot already, and then that lay-in from the left side for 5 points in this third quarter so far.
Exactly. I would love to see the Bobcats score on 2 straight possessions, but it seems as though every time they score, it's going to be a turnover. Ball luckily comes back into the hands of the Bobcats. It was stolen from Smith, and then off the hands of Cooney, back into the hands of Ostrom. So Brookings still has the ball. Rapid back into their 2-3 zone, so we'll see if Brookings can get a good look here. Not the pass right there from Wilson, trying to go to Hamrick at the high, and then it's stolen again. It's just a back and forth affair of turnovers. I think somebody needs to just slow it down right now so they can get a good look on their offensive possession.
Yeah, it's not like this is the fourth quarter here. We still have 1:25 left in this third quarter, plus another 8. So the Bobcats need a good possession here, maybe cut the lead to a 1-possession game, and that would be fantastic for them. They get a pass over to Logan Smith, down low to Hamrick. Hamrick trying to go up against. It was knocked away from her on the way. Thought maybe it was going to be a travel, but they're going to call a foul. We'll see who it was. It might have been Rento who was reaching in, and it was. So that's the second team foul for the Cobblers. Third personal for Rento. Rento's been a big player for these Cobblers so far. Again, an offensive spark plug, driving into the lane, taking in there. So 3 fouls for her. We'll see what happens here the remainder of the game. Landry Wilson, turnaround spin move, almost had that one to fall. It was from just inside the elbow, in and out, but a rebound goes to the Cobblers. 1 minute remaining here. It's a 4-point lead. A wide open Sadie Glade for 3, and she knocks it down, making the Bobcats pay. And that's 6 points for her. A timeout from Rapid City Central. It's a 30-second. We'll take a 30-second break ourselves. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball, Kid Country 102.3. Third quarter action underway here, just under a minute left of this third quarter. Again, Bobcats trailing by 7 to the Rapid City Central Cobblers. 31-24 is the score, 58.3 on the clock. What do the Bobcats need to do on this offensive possession, Alec?
Well, they got to get a bucket here, but going back to that last possession, you just have to get back on defense. Looking at Brookings' scouting report on Rapid City, Sadie Glade was one of Rapid's go-to scorers, the senior, and then she's the one that was just wide open there. So you got to get back on defense, let alone match up with Rapid's go-to scorers. Glade being one of them as she connected on the 3. So Brookings needs a bucket here to cut into the 7-point lead, as it was Malky goes up. Didn't connect on anything. It says out of bounds off the head of, I think, Nevaeh Cooney. So Brookings is going to keep the ball. They'll have an out of bounds play on the right side underneath the hoop.
44.5 left, still 22 on the shot clock. No need to rush here. Get a good shot for the Bobcats, play some defense, finish off the quarter here and get into the fourth. It was a running jumper there and it was blocked on the way. It was Wichapi Cooney knocking away from Logan Smith. So still a 5-second differential here, 35 on the shot. And then we got a scuffle for the ball. The ball went up. It was Malky and Nevaeh Cooney who were tied up with that one, and the possession arrow does point to Brookings, so a little bit of a break there again, and now it's 32.5 left on the game clock. No shot clock for the Bobcats. Again, get your good possession, get that lead down to 4 points, whatever you can do here, but you need a made basket.
You do, and like you said, you have to hold it for the last shot. Last thing you want to do is give Rapid City the ball back where they have a chance to build it up to 9 or even 10. So Brookings has to take their time, get it across, and then hold for one final possession here to end the third.
And especially with the zone press, there's no reason for the Bobcats to rush here at all. Still got 20 seconds. They get it to Logan Smith. They go right side over to Ostreim. She's guarded by Hill. Looks like they're trying to get those doubles going on the wings. Cobbler's doing a good job of it. They get it to Shelsta just inside the free throw line. Looking for a cutting Landry Wilson. They get it to her, and then it's blocked by Josie Hill. Down to 5 seconds, pushing the other way. It's Rinto. Rinto gets it down low to Wichapi Cooney. A reverse layup. Can't get it to fall. It falls into the hands of Josie Hill. Couldn't get it to go at the buzzer, so no good there. Still a 7-point lead. We'll take a 1-minute break here. It's a 31-24 lead for the Rapid City Central Cobblers. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball, Kid Country 102.3.
Sports medicine provider for Brookings High School athletics. Expert support your every move with technology, orthopedic care, and sports medicine. Make the move to Avera Orthopedics. Visit Avera.org/orthopedics for more. First Baptist Trust is a proud partner of Bobcat Arts and Athletics Program, because we believe everyone should play hard and think easy. Visit any of our 4 Brookings locations. Ivy Fruit Store is proud to be a part of the Brookings High School and to support Bobcat athletic teams, fine arts programs, and team organizations. And quite selected, believes that education activities are an investment in our youth and is pleased to be a community partner of Brookings High School.
Welcome back. Bobcat doubleheader action tonight in Bob Josted Gym. The girls finishing up here, 1 quarter to go. Following this game, stay tuned. It's still going to be the boys coming up a little bit later on here. Going to be a late start for them. They were supposed to start at 8 o'clock, and clearly that's not going to happen as it's 8:20 right now, and we still have 8 minutes to go plus more for this girls game, Alec.
Hey, good thing it's a Friday night. Don't have to wake up early for school tomorrow, so great night to be at Bob Josted Gym, whether it is 9, 10 o'clock.
Wichapi Cooney at the left wing goes top of the key to Glade. Back to Cooney. They go top of the key to Rinto, guarded by Smith. Then they get it top of the key again to Glade. So again, a little bit of handoff, just pushing the ball side to side, taking their time running the offense, down to 13 on the shot clock. Wanted the ball screen, didn't get it. They go right wing to Glade, guarded by Landry Wilson. Goes baseline, got by her last time, almost got by her this time, ends up in the hands of Hill, and then it's knocked away, and it's going to be Landry Wilson who comes up with it. She's going to try and push to the other side, goes up against 2 defenders, had a little spin move there, and it is going to be an offensive foul. Again, it was Wichapi Cooney falling to the ground, and they're going to say Landry Wilson pushed off in transition there for the foul. And now that's Landry Wilson's 4th foul, so a situation she cannot be in. And Coach McCleggan not happy with her because he knows that's an easy call, and she just put herself on the bench here at the start of this fourth quarter.
And it seemed as though Cooney was almost even falling to the ground, but like you said, as soon as Wilson extended that arm, we saw it in the first half on Rapid City, it's just going to be an easy call every time. So now Wilson having to come out. Here's where you'll need those role players who are going to get some minutes, step up big, as it's a missed three by Wichapi Cooney. Brookings gets the ball back with 7 minutes to go, trailing by 7, 24-31.
They go to Ostreim. Ostreim scoreless so far in this ball game. They go back to Burns with a lone 3 points. They get it down to Malky, who was, I think she was driving and trying to get the ball to Shelsta, and then someone on the Cobblers, I don't know who it was, but again, another break there for the Bobcats. They've gotten a lot tonight, Alec. We talked about how this score could be very different compared to 7 points. It was stolen away from Malky and then a travel on the Cobblers, so now Burns to inbound underneath their basket.
And again, we've just seen, the passing down low when you run into the girls like Smith and Hill. It's just resulting in a turnover every time. Brookings has to go back to what they did that first half, pass it around the perimeter to get the open looks instead of trying to pass it down low.
And then you catch a break like that and you get a 5-second call on your inbounds play. So the Bobcats, story of the night, just not taking advantage of the mistakes from the Cobblers, who have made many so far tonight. A wide open 3-point shot, got a screen, no good. It was Glade trying to connect on that one. Rebound goes to the Bobcats. Smith pushing to the other end. Gonna slow things down. Again, she's guarded by Rinto, the 5'8 senior. Ashton Ostreim, right wing, guarded by Cooney. Gets it to Malky, goes back to the left wing. They get it down to Shelsta, just what they wanted, left-hand side, and it was Dina Smith, the 6'1 senior, who's going to get called for the foul. She got caught behind Shelsta, and that's the perfect play for the Bobcats. They started on the right wing, get a couple quick reversals, and that gives that opening to Shelsta down low.
Yeah, and that pass is going to work a lot better when they're not in the zone. We saw, 3 of the Rapid City defenders on the right side over with Smith, Ostreim, and I think it was Burns. So yeah, excellent pass down low to Shelsta, able to go up, draw the foul. She connects on the first as Sophia Hamrick checks into the game for Ashton Ostreim.
First free throw attempt for the Bobcats. We talked about getting more attempts this half, and that has not happened so far. They were 4 of 5 in the first half, 1 of 1 so far, and now 1 of 2 as that one is off the mark from Shelsta. Shelsta now up to 7 points on the game. Taking it past the center line, it's Amare Rinto, the 5'8 senior. Goes right side to Jones. Back to Rinto. They're trying to get it down to Hill, who's guarded by Malky. They try and get a skip pass over to Wichapi Cooney, and it was knocked out of bounds by, I believe, it was number 30, Sophia Hamrick, the 5'8 junior.
Correct. And again, this is where we've got to see Malky just working really hard with Josie Hill down low. I think what Emma Bisgard had done the first half, a really good job, was getting in front of Hill, because I think as soon as she gets the ball with a defender behind her, that's where we see some of those moves. You can see she wants it down here on the right side. They're just not going to her. So a lucky break for the Bobcats there, because I think if Hill would have got the ball in the paint, it would have been an easy bucket. But nonetheless, Brookings gets the ball trailing by 6. We'll see if they can get a bucket here with 5:35 left to go.
There was a great play there. They got it down to Malky, and Malky saw the slip from Shelsta, and she's fouled on the way up, of course, using that left hand. So 2 more shots here for Shelsta coming up from the free throw line. She was 1 of 2 last time, now getting a chance here again for 2 more. 31-25 lead for the Cobblers. 5:34 remaining. First shot is up and good for Shelsta, so Shelsta extends her points to 8 so far. Chance for 9 here, as it was Sadie Glade checking in for the Cobblers, coming in for Wichapi Cooney. Second free throw up and coming for Shelsta. It is up, it is down, it is good. So 2 of 2 from the line. Now 9 points for Shelsta, and now only a 4-point lead. Potentially, you could argue a 1-possession game with that 4-point play from the 3-point line, Alec. I'm optimistic tonight.
You could argue it. I just would like to see Brookings get a stop and then not have a turnover. Like I said, I don't remember the last time they scored on 2 straight possessions. If they're ever going to do it, right now would be the time. You're only down 4 with 5:13 left to go here in the 4th.
Hill gets doubled down. It's a free throw line jumper from Dina Smith, and she knocks it down. Dina Smith had one earlier in the game, gets a second one here, up to 4 points for her. Now back to that 6-point lead, and then it was Logan Smith. Looked like she was trying to hand it off to Claire Burns, and Claire Burns was not in that area. So a turnover on the Bobcats, and then fouled on the way. A smart foul there from Claire Burns, again stopping that layup from Jones, and rightly so. The Cobblers struggled with free throws in the first half, so we'll see if that'll work for them in the second half here at the free throw line.
Yeah, and something we've said all night, turnover is crucial, but that right there was just a turnover that you just can't afford to happen, especially when you're only trailing by 6. Just got to make sure you're looking at who you're passing to, or at least the girl knows the ball is coming. I think, like you said, it was almost kind of like a no-look pass, so nobody really know who the ball was going to turnover. So now Brookings trails by 6, 27-33, as the second free throw is up and good. So now it is a 34-27 lead for the Cobblers with 4:58 left to go in the fourth.
Jones 1 of 2 from the line, and it's Landry Wilson to check in for, I believe it was for Claire Burns. So now an interesting scenario again. You got Landry Wilson with 4 fouls back in the game here, and an offensive rebound from Shelsta, and she lays it in with the left hand. Now 11 points for Shelsta, and again, we're just under 6, 5 points. It seems to be staying right there, Alec. 4, 5, 6. If the Bobcats can get another stop and get another basket on the other end, they've got a great chance to get back into the ball game. Driving to the middle, it's Hill. Gets it to Adina Smith on the left side, and then with Shelsta meeting her at the block, but she is fouled on the way up. So Dina Smith's got 2 free throws coming up. A good play there. I think everybody thought Hill was going to take it herself, Alec, but rightly dished it to Dina Smith for the foul.
Yeah, nice pass there by Hill to get it to Smith. We'll see if Smith can connect on the free throws. Unfortunately, that was the 7th team foul for Brookings. Smith does connect on the first. So now you've got 4 minutes and 26 seconds left, and every foul, depending on the foul, I should say, from here on out is just going to continue to get Rapid City to the free throw line.
Smith swishes both of them, so much better shooting in the second half from the Cobblers. Again, they're 5 of 6 so far from the free throw line. Back to that 7-point lead for the Cobblers. 4:20 remaining here, 36-29 in this fourth quarter. It was almost stolen there and almost a backcourt violation in Logan Smith, and then she gets the ball, takes herself, and lays it in on the right side. So what a move there by Logan Smith to get into the lane and get this back to a 5-point lead for the Cobblers.
Need to get a stop. I think every time Brookings gets a basket and cuts it to 5, it seems as though Rapid City scores instantly. So like I said before, if Brookings could ever get a stop followed with a basket, right now is the time to do it with 3:45 left to go. Nice defense there by Shelsta. It was Sadie Glade who attacked the hole, but Shelsta using all 6'5" of that height to block it out of bounds, giving Rapid City an inbounds play on the right side underneath.
So a defensively smart move here for Coach McLagan, taking Landry Wilson out of the game, putting back in Claire Burns, right, because of Landry Wilson having those 4 fouls so far in the game. 3:45 remaining. It was caught by Jones, tries to get a bounce pass to Hill. It's Bobcats and Cobblers on the floor. They wanted a timeout. It was Coach Bertram trying to get it, but too many players there. And now we've got an injured Bobcat on the floor in Sophia Hamrick, and she is holding her shoulder, and this does not look good, Alec.
No, it does not. You can see she is in pain. They're going to have the athletic trainer come out, so we will probably take ourselves
We'll take a 1-minute break here. Again, we'll hopefully she's okay. We'll take a minute break ourselves, give the Bobcats a chance to recover here and see what we can do. So back in a minute. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball, Cape Country 102.3. Welcome back, everybody. Bad news, good news. Bad news, Sophia Hamrick out for the rest of the game for sure. Good news is she was able to get up and walk out of here on her own. So good to see there. Again, we'll have to see what happens with that right shoulder. Unfortunately, she is right-hand dominant as well, so that puts a strain on her and this Bobcat team the rest of the season, as this pass was tipped out of bounds by the Cobblers.
But also Ainsley Shelsta being right-hand dominant, and then she uses her left hand 96.7% of the time. So who knows, maybe this will give Shelsta
player coach next year?
Maybe she
player
can
coach
teach
for her senior year?
How to use the left. We'll see if that can happen, but like you said, glad to see Sophia able to walk off on her own, so hopefully nothing too serious.
It was a three-pointer off the mark from Landry Wilson, who's now guarding Jones on the left wing. They go top of the key to Glade. Glade thought about a three, didn't take it. They go left side over to Hill. She's guarded by Mulkey. Spin move, she loves doing it. Great take there with the left hand, and she lays it in. And that's her first points of the second half. Again, she had 8 points in the first half, now up to 10 total, but the Bobcats doing a better job of taking Hill out of the equation so far throughout this second half.
And like you said, that's just a really good move. You know, she kind of faked with the left, went around with the right, a tough move. You don't see a lot at this stage. So again, Brookings doing a good job defensively, holding her to only 2 points this half, but there a turnover from Landry Wilson, tried to go up top to Claire Burns, stolen by Rapid City. They're going to go the other way. Hill goes down low, going to be a no call. I think Wilson almost tried to draw a charge, but again,
Wilson
foul trouble. She's not the one that can be affording to do that, as Logan is going to pull up a three from the ESD logo on the right side and connects. Again, we're back to 4. I don't think we've seen anything below that for the Bobcats. An instant timeout from Coach McClagan as well. It's going to be a full timeout.
We'll take a minute break ourselves. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball on King Country 102.3. Back in a minute. Welcome back, everybody. Fourth quarter action here. This game getting a little interesting with 2:22 remaining. Again, the Bobcats cut the lead back to 4. It's a 38-34 lead. Leading up to that three-point shot from Logan Smith just before the timeout. Again, they gave her space. She's willing to shoot and knocked it down. The confidence that she needs. And now it's double digits for her. 11 points tonight. And one of the things the Bobcats have done to stay in this game, Alec, only 8 turnovers so far throughout this second half.
Much better second half. And like we said, you know, Coach McClagan and staff talked about that at halftime, what passes they should and should not be making in the press in the zone. But something we've said all night, can Brookings get a stop here on defense, which they do. A missed 3 for Rapid City. Brookings gets the rebound. Now can they score on back-to-back possessions, only trailing by 4 with 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter?
Shelston with that rebound, inching closer to a double-double. We'll have to see what her totals are. Logan Smith wanted the ball to get another three-point opportunity. A little too late. They go back top of the key to Landry Wilson, down to 15 on the shot clock. Ashton Ostrom, left wing, back to Wilson at the top of the key. Again, just kind of passing the ball around here. Now down to 10 seconds. They get it to Shelston at the free throw line, and that's a situation she cannot get into. She brought it down, tried to dribble, stolen, knocked away, and it's Jones who comes up with it and goes left-hand side. She's been great with that left hand and lays it in. It was past, I believe, Landry Wilson there, so lead back to 6 after the layup from Jones. 1:20 remaining, 27 seconds on the shot clock. Bobcats, again, they seem to be answering, but they cannot stop the answer from the Cobblers. Ball tipped, goes into the hands of Ostrom. Back to Burns, back to Ostrom. Tries to lob it down low to Shelston. She's got Smith on her back. They get a nice cutting. Ostrom in and out on the floater. Couldn't get it. What a shot that would have been from her. And the rebound goes to the Cobblers with a minute remaining.
Nice cut there by Ostrom too, but I think Shelston just has to continue to keep the ball up. The last 2 possessions, she's gotten it. We've seen her dribble 2 possessions ago. It was stolen. That one was almost stolen. But like we've said all night, when you're 6'5" and you catch the ball, you got to hold that thing at your chest or bring it up where nobody can take it, and you don't even have to worry about turning it over.
It was a full timeout from Coach Bertram. We'll take a 30-second timeout ourselves. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball on K Country 102.3. Welcome back, everybody, alongside Alec Johnson, Andy Lee here for the call on this first game of this doubleheader. And again, we are getting later and later. This boys' game's not going to start till, close to 9 o'clock, I'd say, Alec. But again, great to have basketball on a Friday night. Great to have a doubleheader on a Friday night. And nice to see such a great crowd here in Bob Joe Stead Gym.
Exactly. I love the aspect of a doubleheader. Again, you've got the crowd coming out for the first game. And like we've said, hopefully these fans stick around for a second game. It's a Friday night, going to be close to 9 o'clock. Not sure they have anything else going on. So hopefully see a packed house. We've got an excellent end to a first game here. Hoping the same for the second game.
So Cobblers are in the bonus. The ball went into the hands of Rinto. She was fouled quickly by Logan Smith, and that's what they're going to have to do, Alec. They're going to have to put the pressure on right away, and that's a tough thing to teach middle school, high school, when you say, hey, you need a foul, but you got to make sure you go for the ball. That's one of the things I've noticed is, can this Bobcat team get the sense of urgency, find the ball, and get a quick foul?
Exactly, and again, we'll see plenty of substitutions here for the last 51.7 seconds. With Wilson being in foul trouble, you'll see her come in every time on offense, and if Brookings can score or not, she'll instantly come back out and so forth, because again, now it just comes down to a game of free throws for Rapid City and three-pointers or quick buckets for Brookings, as it was Amare Rinto connects on the first, giving Rapid City a 7-point lead, 41-34, with one free throw left to come.
Rinto with 4 points in the first half, only her lone point so far, and that's all she'll get. But then an offensive rebound goes into the hands of Nevaeh Cooney. Need a foul there. Logan Smith, a little chippy, just tripped her up there near half court, helped get her up. But again, a quick foul, but that has to be a rebound the Bobcats get out, because now we've wasted only about a second and a half here, and they go back to the line with Rinto.
Exactly. That Brookings just couldn't afford that. You have to do a better job of boxing out, because like you said, now Brookings just continues to stay in foul trouble when you're having to foul so many times, as Rinto connects on the first, building it up to an 8-point lead with 49 seconds left to go. So again, Brookings, if this one goes in, you're down 9. It gets to the point where you have to go down and get a quick bucket, whether it is a 3 or an easy layup, and then it's going to be back to the fouling game. And Rinto does connect on the second, so now it's a 43-34 lead for Rapid City with 44 seconds to go in the fourth.
Ball was tipped out of bounds there. It was Logan Smith trying to go over the top of the 6'2 senior, and that just doesn't work too often. Tips it into the crowd. Cobblers second half free throw shooting 7 of 9, so this is going to come up clutch for them here in the end. If the Bobcats continue to answer, they're going to need that confidence at the free throw line. Down to 40 seconds here. Bobcats got to move. They get it to Landry Wilson. Again, it was Claire Burns just looking around, and they had a chance at her, but she was not paying attention. Down to 32 seconds. They need a shot. They get it down to Shelsta. Top of the key to Landry Wilson. A big three-point shot. Can't get it to fall back iron. Rebound goes to Josie Hill of the Cobblers, and the Bobcats got to try and foul, and it was Logan Smith again, and now it's Coach McClagan looking at his team, and again, that's just too long of a possession there, Alec, for the Bobcats. You had a chance to get a shot right away with someone like Claire Burns, and she just wasn't looking at the ball.
Exactly. I think it was 15, almost 20 seconds ran off the clock, and that's something we said, just the inexperience of situations like this, when you have to get a foul on the defensive end. Offensively, you have to get a quick shot, and something we saw a lot of in the second half was Brookings slowing it down on offense. I think they did a great job of that. Unfortunately, when you're down 9 with 49 seconds to go, that's the last time you can have patience on offense like they did there. So free throws good. So now Rapid City leads by 10 with 22 and a half seconds to go here in the fourth.
It was Rinto, 1 of 2 from the line. Now she's up to 8 points tonight. So good balanced scoring attack from these Cobblers, continuing to put pressure on even with this lead and 15 seconds remaining. Logan Smith tries to drive in. It ends up in the hands of Ella. It was Ella Bisgard who lays it in, so it got blocked on the way up from Smith, goes into her hands, lays it in, but that's all the Bobcats are going to be able to do here to finish this game as we get down to 2, down to 1, and there's going to be the final buzzer. So your final score of this first game, it is Rapid City Central 44, Brookings 36. We'll take a 4-minute break here. When we come back, we'll have the post-game show for this one, pre-game for the next one, and hopefully we can get Coach McClagan to stop up here for a few minutes to chat with us. You're listening to Bobcat Girls Basketball, K Country 102.3, back and forth.